Happy Friday, y'all. Just a quick shout out, of course, to The Midnight for our opening song. You just heard, of course, America Online. Be sure to check out The Midnight wherever you get your music from. Welcome back to Biscuits with Bosses. This is the live podcast where we get to know leaders in the film and television industry over a spot of tea and maybe a few biscuits. I'm your host, rocking my off-duty dad cap here, Kay Ross, writer, filmmaker, and founder of Owl Echo. And with me today, as always, my co-host, my East Coast buddy, my Ed McMahon, Mr. Matt York. By the way, happy World Mental Health Day, Matt.
Thank you so much, and happy World Mental Health Day to all of y'all as well, everyone in chat. Thank you so much for coming in. Let us know where you are in the world, what you're drinking today. We'll be answering that real shortly, but right now I just want to give a quick shout out to what we use to stream, Restream.io. It's like the easiest platform you can use to live stream, create professional looking videos, and just connect to your audience in real time. You can live stream to like over 30 channels, but we're only at 3 right now. So with your help, we can hopefully do more, right? So be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all those good things, share this, and maybe one day you'll see us on more platforms. That'd be really cool.
Right? And speaking of shout outs, I clearly want to make sure that our sponsors are also given a little nod before we meet today's very special guest. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Off Duty Thanks Leisure Apparel, the most comfortable way to connect yet respect others in the film and television industry. And we are using QR codes, so feel free to just give that bad boy a scan. And our other sponsor, the Production Value Software by Gemini Crown Tech. For more, we'll, of course, give more information about our sponsors a little bit later. We just want to make sure that y'all had access to them right now. But without further ado, without any more gilding of the lily, I just want to make sure that you guys are here and you're ready for this epic conversation, because I have known today's guest for a while, but really, I'm not sure we've actually sat down and had a proper cup of coffee. So allow me to introduce our very special guest, Emily Skye, an award-winning film director and cinematographer who shot her short film River in May 2020 and is currently on Dust with over 5 million views. Oh my goodness. Which opened the doors for her debut feature, River, which was released in July of 2021 by Gravitas Ventures. And since then, she has filmed which she actually filmed during the pandemic. And Emily just finished directing and editing her latest feature, which is a Tubi original thriller titled Married to a Balla, which I have seen. Phenomenal film based on the novel and released November 2024. It went on to be #1 in a day and a half after release. That is incredible. And after nearly a year, it is still trending. Currently, Emily just finished post-production on the sequel to Married to a Balla, and that is set to release this year, December 2025. Oh my God, Emily! I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me. You're awesome, Kay.
You know, it's only because I have met some really incredible people in the industry, and you're among them, my friend. You're among them.
Well, thank you. It was we've known each other for a minute through Stage 32, you know?
Yeah. And part of that is pure admiration, because the way you passionately pursue your filmmaking is so admirable that I was like, if I can help out in any way, please let me help out. Otherwise, just consider me a fan. I'm going to follow everything you do. But since we're here to get to know you like Ted Lasso style, we're gonna have some fun getting to know you questions. First off, what is everyone drinking? Totally fine if it's just water. Just what's in your cup?
Water.
Yes, but I loved how it's representing in water. You're like, if I've got to drink water, it's going to be in my Sundance cup.
I'm going to drink water. It's bigger than my face. Stay hydrated.
Absolutely.
PSA from Biscuits with Bosses. Stay hydrated. In fact, I will take that note because maybe I need some water too. Matt, what are you thinking, my friend?
I think we're making it a three-peat. I also have water. It's a real turkey over here.
Oh, we're celebrating this Friday.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Also, I feel like this feels very filmmaker-esque because all the time when we're on set, like it's easy for people to be like, "Oh my God, give me Dr. Pepper or give me coffee." But like half the time, if you're on set too long, you're like, "Water, LaCroix. Do not give me sugar. Don't give me any
It's
caffeine."
no, literally, and even Gatorade is pushing it, you know? It's
Yeah.
like you just want water. Like, I don't know what it is, you know? Maybe it's all the crafty I'm eating. Like, I sit there and eat all those granola bars or whatever.
Right.
Like, I got it in my back pocket, so I'm just like, water it is.
Okay. But if you had to do electrolytes on set, what's your preferred electrolyte?
I wish I could remember the name of it. They're the little packets, and it's like it's salty, but I get like the lemon or the watermelon flavor,
Mm.
and you pour it in. I actually discovered it because my cousin, when I went to her bachelorette, she gave us all of those electrolytes for the bachelorette party, and they were actually so good. It was better than Gatorade, like, and also you just poured it in your water, you shake it, and then, you know, like oh, the energy it gives you too.
Ooh.
I will find the name of it because it's in my car. I have a packet in there, and then I will tell you what that is, but it's good.
Please
It's
do.
just like a packet electrolytes, like salty, good. I don't know. It's good.
And that's the way to go, man. I feel like emergency is really great for that because you can just dump it into a water bottle. But like, that's the downside of like a lot of other electrolytes because if you don't get it, you don't have it, right? So like, coconut water was the big thing for the longest time, and it was like, well, that's thank you for that request, but now I have to very specifically get it, and it stands apart from everything else, as opposed to get all the water bottles and people can choose whether or not it becomes water or electrolytes. So the packet is a
Yeah,
brilliant idea.
I think so too. I think emergency is good as well, like the raspberry flavor one.
Mm.
I get that in the strawberry lemon, like, and then the lemonade one. Like,
Ooh.
I use those as well. Those are good.
Yeah, man. All right. So our first Ted Lasso question. First concert, best concert.
My first concert like I've ever been to,
Yeah.
like the Hansons.
Really? Like,
That was
Bob.
I was yes, bop. I was 13,
Yes. That is
and
so
that's
great.
who I saw. I'm putting my age out there. It was bop. I also saw Spice Girls around the same time too, so it was all kind of like in the same thing. I did Hanson, Spice Girls that year, and that was like that was it for me. And then the last concert I went to was the Rolling Stones in Miami, 2021, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a minute since I've been to another concert. But that was like really cool because I had friends that were in that worked the concession stand, so we got VIP. And so we were able to like be up in the front of the VIP, and it was pouring rain, and you're like just standing right there and you're watching Mick Jagger just run up and down the stage, and you're just like, this man is like incredible. Like the energy he has. And so you didn't even care that you're being soaked out there, you know, like in the rain. And my dad actually like got us all these tickets to go, and then he was super upset that we went down to the VIP thing, and I was like, "Well, Dad, we could swap, you know, and you could go down there too." He's like, "No, I'm staying in my seats," you know. So like, but we all had a really good time. We were dancing in the rain and just like jamming out. Like he's another level performer. Like it was incredible.
Cheers to the Rolling Stones.
That's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Cheers.
For the record, my answer always changes for best concert because my first concert, also showing my age, I think mine was also 12 or 13, and I went to King's Dominion with my mother, and we saw the Beach Boys.
Okay.
She wanted to break me in for concerts, and that one was an easy one. I waver between my best one because I did see Aretha Franklin live at the Smithsonian.
Oh,
And I
wow.
remember, yeah. And I remember just thinking, I can die happy now. Like, I saw the Queen of Soul live. Does it get better
I
than that?
mean,
I'm not sure.
not really. Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
I feel like either right after that or right before that was, do you remember that one year at the Oscars? Was it Oscars or Grammys? Sting came out to announce somebody, and Pavarotti was supposed to sing like the opera singer Pavarotti was supposed to sing, and for some odd reason he was sick or wasn't able to sing, and Aretha Franklin came out instead. Now the theory was when she came out, she was going to sing something else. No, she sang his piece. The Queen of Soul came out and sang opera, and like, so for me that was the 1-2 punch of like, I remember just idolizing her for being such a badass of like showing the world, oh no, I am classically trained. And then I got to see her live. So cool.
Well, hey, you know, I saw, so like I did I went to the Oscars like watch viewing party at Elton John's. Like I did the Elton John, and I sat next to like Alessandra Ambrosio and like the actress that was in Slumdog Millionaire, and like I'm sitting at this table, and then the cast of Orange is the New Black, or what was that show on
Yeah.
Netflix? It was Orange is the New
Orange
Black,
is the New
right?
Black.
So like I was sitting next to a couple of the actresses there too, and we were all at the same table, and I'm just like, and then Elton John came out and just started playing the piano and singing, and I'm just like, this is cool. You know, one of my investors invited me to go with him to that. So like I went with him, and then I brought my friend with me too. So he brought me and my friend, and that was an experience for sure.
Right? Oh
Elton
my
John
God.
just casually coming out and starting to play on the piano, and I'm like,
Wow.
Okay, now you need to see Ted Lasso because there's literally a reference to like one of the characters like going to Elton John's for Christmas and doing a sing along, and I'm like, they're talking about
They're just-
Emily.
he just literally just walks up there and sits down, and he's just like singing and playing the piano, and people are just eating dinner and we're chilling. And I was like, this is life right now. This is cool, you know?
Oh. Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna go into the next rapid fire question because totally fine that
Yeah.
you haven't seen Ted Lasso, but I hear that you like The Office. Do you have like a favorite quote or meme from The Office?
Oh man. And I've watched The Office so many times, and now I'm on the spot and my brain just completely freezes. And then the alarms are going off outside at the same time. That's where my brain is at right now.
I agree, Don. That was so cool. Don from our audience was saying, "How cool!" Yes, I agree. So cool.
It is cool. It was an experience for sure. There were so many moments that I love about it, but I don't have like a specific quote per se.
We'll let it percolate. I'm sure something will come
Yeah,
up to you.
let me, because my brain right now, I am so sorry. It just sometimes completely freezes, and I'm like,
Girl,
I
I
swear
got you.
I'm good at being on the spot, but right now for whatever reason my brain just completely froze.
Dude, no worries. And for the record, I feel like part of the value of doing something like Biscuits with Bosses is like in the industry, we do these little coffee dates all the time, right? And so part of what we're mimicking in a way is how conversations normally go when if you've got an hour and you're meeting someone new, this is how we do, right? We do something that's like, I just want to get to know you as a person first. And then like, let's, support each other as people. And then, yeah, now that we know each other, you son of a F. My battery got bored.
I just see a talking circle.
I know. I'll come back. But and then you can get serious with your questions because now you have some familiarity. So this is just us talking and getting familiar with each other. All right. While I get my battery, since I know you're also a BookTok and romance fan, what is your favorite trope? Friends to lovers, strangers to lovers, or enemies to lovers?
Enemies to lovers.
Yes, girl. I gotta ask why. Like, what is there a particular relationship that you really enjoy?
I mean, I really like. Did you read like ACOTAR series or even like Light Lark?
ACOTAR for sure.
So you know how like Reese is pretty much like he was thought to be like the enemy, like the villain of the story or whatever, and then like you all know how that ends up, and it's just like And even in Light Lark too, like you think the dude is like this evil villain man, and he is actually. And then it's just like, I don't know, I love that. Maybe I like morally gray men, and that's my problem because it doesn't work in the real world.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work in real life.
Oh my word.
My
That is actually the
problem.
great. You're like, I'm learning all of these terrible
gray,
patterns.
but they're horrible.
Plus, they need so much work. Oh, Dawn says
They don't
best
take accountability. They don't have emotional depth. You know, so you're just left with the red flags.
Which I opened that question to everybody in the audience as well.
I've been looking for you. Yep. Oh, Reese, when that worked, when he said that, I knew it was no Tamlin. You know, like I knew it was no Tamlin. It was gonna be this man. When she's like, I see the most beautiful man ever, and he's like, there you are. I've been looking for him. I'm like, up, that's him.
Oh, beautiful but dangerous.
Yeah.
Which, not to completely switch gears, because I feel sure we're going to come back into this later. For the record, BookTok, I think, is part of what got me through COVID, because it is so enjoyable to see people just get so involved with fictional characters.
It's the best. It's the best.
Like the
I
whole
love it.
Thing, right?
It is so great. I mean, that's how I discovered some like indie books and all kinds of different things. And like I made friendships through our love of books. And it's just like, I don't know, like I love it.
Yeah. Well, and it also gives you room to explore because it's in book form. The moment it's in a visual medium, certain decisions have been made for you, you know? So yeah, the imagination that it opens, the kind of inventiveness that it opens when you're reading a book is vast.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree.
Again, I feel like we're going to pull on the thread of BookTok here in a minute, because I hear you have recently finished your own Roman-tacy screenplay.
Yes. I got tired. I got tired, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe because my life isn't like this, but I'll create one that I want. You know, like I'll create this fantasy world, and of course sprinkled in with sci-fi, add in the romantasy, reincarnation love that he travels through time and space to find her again. And like, yeah, you know, I did it.
Yeah.
I did that. And I was just like crying at my own screenplay because I'm like, and because it's like, you know, like you watch enough of these book talks and stuff, and I'm reading these stories, and I'm like, why am I not writing things that get me excited like that?
Right? Yeah. I mean, that actually begs the other question. When you wrote the Roman-tacy, do you intend to make it both book and film?
I was actually asked after the screenplay was done, that I should make it a series as well, like make it a book series. And I'm like, I shall try. You know, like I've written actually 3 books that are published.
Wow.
Like I did 2 books while I was pregnant with my son, and they came out different times. And then I love to write, you know, so like I wrote this very visual and like but yeah, I was told I should make this into a book series, and I'm considering when I have time to do that, because now I'm prepping this movie. But like I do want to. Like, why not, you know?
Yeah, why not? Actually, speaking of films, my last getting to know you question, because it is World Mental Health Day, and because you and I both know when it comes to production, there's this kind of slump after you wrap production. What do you do to overcome your post-wrap blues?
I think it's so important to talk about like mental health in film, because we don't talk about it enough. A lot of people don't realize you can fall into a really big depression after making a movie, because you basically pour your soul into making something, and then when you're done, it's like, well, now what? Because everything's depleted, you know? For me, typically it's like riding my horse or um, going to the beach or doing things that are like physical activity.
Yeah.
This year was a little more challenging because I had an injury that wasn't allowing me to do these things. So I started picking up making jewelry, which is different, you know, like being creative, but I also like to paint. So I think like painting or making jewelry, something with your hands, um, that's what really kind of helped me get through the blues this summer and even to present. It's kept me a little bit more stable, grounded in my own self.
Yeah.
But it is hard. It's definitely hard. Everyone, I suggest like if you're making films or whatever you're doing to find other hobbies as well that will help balance you, because mental health is everything. It's very important, and it's something that we don't talk a lot about, you know, and and it's important to talk about. And it's also it's I don't want to say that a lot of people go through it, but it happens more so than you would expect. I didn't realize how many other people go through it too. I thought it was just me at first. I was like, is this like is there something going on? Like, how am I feeling like this? So it hit me so hard when I did my first feature in the pandemic. And I was like, I did not realize. And then I had to start figuring out what I can balance my own emotions with, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
especially during the lockdown, I can't even imagine like the 1-2 punch of I've just finished this, like, not low level anxiety, but like your adrenaline is high over a long period of time, and then you're asked to bring it back down, right? Add
Yeah.
to that with COVID, you can't see a lot of people, right? Or you can't go out as much, right? So
Yeah.
maybe even the physical activity is limited. Like for me, the isolation was, and then my job being in front of a computer was like a 1-2 punch. But like you add that to now I'm off of set. Oof, yeah, that is a
It was
rough
hard.
combination.
Like,
Yeah,
I was like everyone with River, we had our COVID compliance officer on location with us. We all stayed in this like there were different yurts and cabins on this like property, and we all stayed together. We had COVID compliance with us. Everything was there, and we were locked down for a solid like 2 weeks together. And it was like the greatest time ever. We were making a film, we were cooking out at night, we were dancing under the stars, howling at the moon. And then like you finish the movie and then you're like you go back home and you're like this is it was hard. It was rough.
normal I think is also hard for filmmakers. You're just like I have to like set an alarm and like make breakfast, and like it's mundane, and I have to live through the mundane just to get back to the party, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
filmmaking is very isolating. You know, like in the beginning, like you take an idea, you have to sit with the idea, you're creating the idea. You only start coming together when you're in pre-production, and then you really come together when you get to location and you start making the movie together. And then you leave, and then I'm an editor too, so then I'm editing the movie alone, and then you send it off for notes. But like it's a very solo kind of, you feel isolated in these different parts of the journey, you know? So you have to self-motivate yourself to do these things because um it's just no one else is going to do it for you. You have to kind of go through it. We are our own entrepreneurs. It can be isolating and alone. And then you bring your team together and then everyone disperses and then you have to continue making the movie like till it's done. So, yep.
Yeah. Nothing says isolation like post production, and I just want to my 2 cents because I know that you are in post production for your feature right now. That like I've just finished my latest short, and I literally had 2 days. I was given my cast 9 p.m. on day 0. Day 1 was all rehearsal. Day 2 was a little bit of rehearsal and then shoot, and then a week to edit. Now I had a few more weeks after that before actually putting it on, and distributing it. But that that first week of editing was really exciting. The last like 6 hours of editing where you're like, I'm on a deadline and I gotta get stuff done. You're just like tunnel vision because no one else is there. You're just doing it on your own, you know, other than your color and your sound mix. Like it's just you, right? And so you have to like hold on to the heart of what you got from everybody else when you were on set and everybody else that you interacted with in your pre-production. And you have to hold on to that heart, knowing that like, if I let it go now, everything that people have put into it, into this moment is just going to poof, gone. Like the magic's just going to be gone. So I just gotta hold it long enough to get it out there, you know? Yeah.
No, you do.
Really
it is like, and then that post part is like, you know, I love the post part. I like the final parts of post of where it goes to color and sound design and the composer and like all of those pieces. And you kind of like, all right, it's still good, you know, it's decent, you know, like, because you go through emotional distress too. And then you're like, what did I just shoot? You know, like.
You know what though, and because I want to switch over into our victory round because I feel sure you have things that you want to celebrate, but also there's something I want to celebrate with you because I just saw Married to a Balla and I'm like, girl, those shots. Okay, but for those of you who are in the audience, the victory round, this is our portion where as creatives, we recognize that sometimes it's hard for us to celebrate ourselves. So we're going to hear the victory from the other person so we can help celebrate each other, right? And this is always about the effort, not about the accolades. So it's totally fine if you want a contest, right? But I'm going to hear you want a contest, but I'm going to celebrate the fact that you finished the script, right? I'm going to celebrate the fact that you entered it in the first place, because those are the two steps that are required for you to even have a chance of winning that contest. So with that in mind, Emily, what's something from this past week that you accomplished or something you made an effort towards that you're really proud of, that you would love to celebrate?
Oh my gosh, this is like hard for me, you know, like it's so hard to like celebrate myself.
I mean, that's why we do it, so that you can.
Like, oh my god. So I guess like some of the victory I feel this week is that we started to officially cast the movie that I'm gonna do in December, the sci-fi Roman-tacy, and I'm really excited about that.
You should be.
Like I'm excited about that.
Which I want to pull on that thread for just a minute, because the victory behind that victory that I want to celebrate is that you are in this moment of momentum, right? You just finished Married with Balla 2, right? You're moving forward with something that you're really passionate about. And, you know, instead of like hiding or like getting self-conscious about it, you're like, no, it's another project that I'm in love with and I'm just going to move forward. So when I hear you say I'm moving forward with casting, I'm like, yeah, you are. Like, this is your baby and you're happily celebrating and moving forward with your baby. So
I'm excited. Thank you. Oh, I do have one. Like, so Married to a Balla was on Jeopardy.
What?
On the 7th. It was one of the questions.
That is so wild. What was the question?
The author was watching Jeopardy and it said Married to a Balla is on which Fox original platform? And it's Tubi was the answer. But like literally Married to a Balla, I was like, the author sent us a group chat and we're just like, no way. No way. We're on Jeopardy?
Wow. I mean, cheers all around. That is so cool.
I mean, like, Jeopardy. I didn't have that on my vision board, but, you know, I'll take it. You know, like, I'm just like, that's just, like, different, right?
No, but look, that's the beauty of, like, starting with the vision board, because there are other gifts that come with the execution of
Jeopardy.
It, right?
Like, we're officially in the pop culture of thinking that it's a Jeopardy question.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh. All right. Because in the spirit of reciprocity, Matt, I want to check in with what your victory from the week was. And I see we've got a couple of people in our chat as well. But Matt, you're up first.
Yeah, so our chat victory is Dawn had a great meeting about a feature outline, and they'll be making adjustments to that this weekend. So congrats, Dawn.
Awesome. Yay.
Big news. And my victory this week, I guess, would be that I started an audiobook, which isn't big, but I used to read a lot, but I've never been like a big reader. And I've always just listened to a lot of music, but I've had the opportunity to start an audio series, and it's really cool because I am learning that I'm not totally an audiobook person. But I am enjoying the series as it is because it's basically like a video game told as a book. Like it's like an RPG, but if it was a book. So like it's like the main character is like like levels up and like gains loot boxes from like killing enemies, and then and because it's an audiobook, you hear all the different voices like every time he like gets
Oh,
an
that's cool.
achievement. There's like a voice that's like achievement get, and it's like not the main guy's voice, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. So it feels like a video game, and that's kind of how it plays out. It's called Dungeon Crawler Carl, if anyone's interested. There's like 8 books in the series, so I don't know if I chose a great one to start with, but I am enjoying it so far, and yeah, I guess I've just been doing
That's
that
exciting.
like, yeah, on my jogs and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's my victory. How about you, Kay?
Cheers to
Yay.
that, man.
Thank
That's
you.
really cool. For the record, I always love hearing the full range. So if there's a personal victory or professional victory, we take all victories. I think I'm going to double down on last week's victory, because last week's victory was like I reached out to a potential actor to attach to a feature that I'm moving forward with, and he was like, "Yeah, I happily would be, read your materials to see if I'm interested." And of course, the next step is an LOI so that we can continue to secure our financing. And I was like, "Cool, I got the yes. Now I gotta send it."
That's exciting.
So it is, and the victory from this last week is I finished the thing to send to him and sent it. So yeah.
So that's amazing.
Thanks so
That's
much.
exciting. When do you think you're going to hear from him?
That is a great question. I'll probably follow up in a week if I'm honest, just because I'm in the countdown before Austin Film Festival, and Austin Film Festival is just a high tide for me, not just as a filmmaker, but also because with Stage 32, they're a partner with Stage 32, so my presence there is for both. So I'm just, how people train for a marathon? I am training for an Austin Film Festival.
I love that.
Weight training, cardiovascular, taking all the vitamins so I don't get sick.
Yeah, because you're not sleeping.
Yeah, not sleeping. Not really going to be doing a lot of drinking either, because you stay hydrated. The
Stay
note
hydrated.
has come true. Stay hydrated.
Put some emergency in it too.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm particularly excited because technically it is part of a trilogy, and I would love, even though the trilogy is a rom-com trilogy, I want to shoot it Lord of the Rings style, because the leads from the first, the best friends from one of the leads, become the leads in the second, and then the sister of the lead of the second becomes the lead of the third. So we're getting to know them along the way. And so if we're casting at the same time and the locations are so nearby, let's just take September, October, November. Technically it's October, November, December, because it's during the holidays, to just we're just going to film a thing. Yeah. So, and again, the seed of the victory is, last week it was asking for help. And this week it's very much fulfilling my obligation, fulfilling my commitment when I ask for that, right? So yeah, that's my win.
It's a big win, and I'm excited. I'm cheering for you. And make sure to put emergency in your drink and survive it all.
Thank you.
John says frozen margs have ice in them, and ice is water. So I think we can combine some different forces here, put some electrolytes into a frozen marg. You got a little bit of everything going on.
Oh.
Would that cancel out the hangover? That's the next question.
Add some coconut water.
There you go.
Wait, no, because I don't actually know like Emily's drink. So you're networking, at a bar for, Austin Film Festival, American Film Market. Like, what's your go-to drink?
Tequila soda.
Right on.
Casamigos Blanco or Reposado with soda and a orange slice.
Ooh. Orange. Why orange and not lime?
Because it's good. Try it. It's like it has a nice little kick to it. I like it.
All right.
I could drink tequila like water, and that's the problem.
So maybe not the networking drink, the party drink.
No, I could drink it perfectly fine at networking because I could have like one or two, and I'm fine. Like I don't get a headache.
Dawn agrees. That was excellent choice.
Yeah.
All right. Looking at the time, I just want to make sure we have plenty of time to dive deep as fellow filmmakers. But first, I do want to make sure that we hear from our sponsors. So our first sponsor, Off Duty. Are you looking for more organic ways to make new connections in the film and television industry? Off Duty Thanks is an apparel collection that offers the most comfortable apparel you can wear while enjoying non-negotiable time off. So if you're going out with friends or family, but you keep getting asked for pictures, wear the original Off Duty Thanks apparel, the perfect permission slip for expressing gratitude while respecting boundaries. But what if you're off duty, but you're still open to making new connections? Wear the artist-specific collections to start the conversation. Then all you have to do is just grab that contact info and get back to your loved ones or that very precious solo alone time. Plus, every purchase gives 5% back directly to the Entertainment Community Fund, otherwise known as the Actor Community Fund. And this is, of course, a great way to both help yourself while also giving back to the filmmaking community. And as a special thank you for tuning into Biscuits with Bosses, just use the code BWBTY10 at checkout for 10% off your complete order, or just click the link in the video description below for those of you who are watching the recording. And just in case you're not sure how to engage with people during your off-duty time, every order comes with a small guide and suggested scripts so you can connect quickly but respectfully. And of course, our other sponsor, and they have been with us for a while, so huge thank you to Production Value Software. Now, if you're an independent producer like myself, or even a content creator, then you know how difficult it is to stay organized from, and Production Value is the only program that keeps you all of your project's material together from development to delivery. This includes a checklist at every stage to make sure you don't miss a thing. So if you would like more information about Production Value Software, just check out the link in the chat. And of course, you receive 10% off with our special code, BWBosses. And I highly recommend this if you're, trailblazing and you don't necessarily know the order of operations or even the laws in your local area, because it will keep you on track. All right. Now, without further ado, and I always like to kind of dive into the future of filmmaking with our guests. But before we do that, because Emily, you and I actually have some past filmmaking history. Matt, if you would share, this is the Stage 32 blog that you wrote back in 2020, May of 2020.
Oh my gosh.
Right? I would love for you to tell us just a little bit about pushing past the limitations of the time to make this film anyway. Because this was River the Short.
Yeah. Well, I went to North Carolina when everything opened for you to be able to travel. And Mary and my actress Alex, they both were in North Carolina. So it was like, because she left LA to be there during the pandemic because she was trapped, So my brother and now sister-in-law, we all drove together to North Carolina, and they were helping me make the movie. And these were other people that were in North Carolina. We all just came together and did it. And we had a COVID compliance thing going on there too. And it was just like, it was crazy. It was weird because you didn't have the freedom that you would outside the pandemic. So everyone was on edge a little bit more. Like, we were careful. We didn't want to get sick. And we were terrified, And like we drove, so we weren't like going through an airport or anything like that, but we all were still scared. So like we're there and we all did like the COVID tests before we started to see each other. And we were only there for 2 days, 3 days. Like we drove in, filmed for 2 days, and then drove out the 4th day. And it was just, man, the COVID compliance eats up most of your budget, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if you had this experience ever, but like there's also this unfortunate situation of strong arming where because you have to have a COVID compliance officer, not only do you have to pay them their rate, but then you also can't necessarily ask them to do their entire job if they're not doing their job, because then they have all the leverage, right? Well, I can just walk.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen all the time, but unfortunately, when people get into that place where they're like, I have all the power, they can really screw you over because you need someone to actually do the job, and not just get paid to be there.
Yeah. No, it was like, so we got really lucky with, at least with the feature. She was wonderful. Like she was very like strict in the things, but like also very cool. Like we got lucky to have her.
Yeah.
She was the most expensive. She was the person that got paid the highest.
Yep. Sounds right. Yeah. And was that true on the feature as well?
Yeah, that was the feature. Yeah, that was like on the short, we got lucky with that too. It was more of just, it was a little bit less as strict because the feature was like such a longer production. And we needed a bigger team. So she came and she was just really great. We got lucky with her.
Yeah.
We all got in and we had to go straight to Walgreens and they had the free COVID testing. So that saved us. So like we all had to go through the COVID testing and then we get the results and then we were able to go to location after to like stay together. Yeah. And then every day we had our COVID testing done.
Wow. No, and I think that's an incredible idea, right?
Huh?
Which I think that's an incredible idea of just like having that, like, it almost adds to the summer camp feel of it all, right? You're like, guess we just got to be here longer.
I know. We're all like, oh my gosh. We were staying in these yurts. It was really cool. It was fun. I had a blast.
Yeah, man. I feel like we may segue into the future of filmmaking just because I feel like you've done another one recently that feels very outdoorsy and you could have returned to your life.
Alienation.
It's with Mary.
Yeah.
Alienation, that's the one.
And Raoul Rai. Yep.
Who is hilarious. What
He's
a
great.
joy to work with.
I love him. He's so, I mean, you met him on The Meal. Mm-hmm. And he takes it so seriously. Like he's so like involved in what he's doing. And he takes it so and with the Alienation, he had to grow a beard and his hair a little bit. And he was just, we had such a blast in New Hampshire together, all of us. And it was freezing. It was like, went from 70 degrees to 30 degrees overnight. Like, and then all of a sudden all my beautiful leaves, because it was changing leaves and I had this whole vision and had everything set up. All the leaves decided to fall off the next day.
Oh, no.
The day we were filming. So like we still had leaves, but it wasn't like the bursts of red. They just turned brown and they all just fell off the trees. And I'm just like, literally, if I sent you the pictures that like, because I took pictures of everything on my shots. And then if you were to see the film and those shots, you'll see it went from like this beautiful fiery different yellows and reds and stuff like that for like the leaves changing to brown and dead and bald trees. You're like,
And now the question in everyone's mind, I know it's in mine, is like, and were you able to fix it in post?
nope. But it
Nope.
still looked beautiful. It was just a different kind of beautiful.
Yeah. We just shift the vibe.
Obviously, I had a pivot. I can't do anything about that. I can't
Yep.
stick the trees back together.
Can't just wait till next year.
I can't
Nope.
wait till next year. Literally, it was all there. Then the next day, we were driving to the airport to pick up Raoul and Bobby. And all of a sudden, I'm like, are the leaves falling? I'm like, what is that? You know? And then they were like, my mom's like, it looks like it. And then on the way back from the airport, they were all gone.
Wow.
Like, bald. Like, I still got it, but I cried a little.
I feel like that's almost necessary as a filmmaker. You're like, I can still move forward, but if you're asking me to move forward in a timely fashion, I gotta shed some tears just to make it.
I did. I was like, oh, and then my lenses. So we were in Portsmouth, and I got this like psychic reading, and right before my reading, I get a text from FedEx saying that my lenses, they were supposed to come the next morning at 9 a.m. They said they weren't coming till Monday. Now our shoot was Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
And it was Friday that they were supposed to come at 9 in the morning. And I get this text from FedEx saying, your package is updated to Monday. And I'm like, I had a minor heart attack because I had no lenses. And then thank the lords of film gods, everything, like the lenses, they came the next day, but like I was watching and I was trying to track it, got stuck somewhere, and that's what happened. They were holding it, and I was just like, I can't even get there if I wanted to, like where they were. But it was like one of those things that like the leaves, my lenses, like I was having anxiety attacks left and right.
Oh no.
And Dawn said it would take a lot of glue. Yeah, it would take a lot of glue. I don't even think glue would help it.
Dawn, I mean, I appreciate your enthusiasm or your optimism. That's what I'm talking about. Just a little bit of glue. It'll be fine. Wait, so
I can't even climb that tree.
Do you know your top 3 signs? Your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign? I'll share mine if you share yours.
Do you want to guess? Do you want to guess mine first?
I feel like, strangely enough, you're in my mind, you're a fire sign, but I feel like there are certain others that can overlap. So like Taurus females also tend to be like really crazy creative. But like for most of the time I've known you, either like Sagittarius or Leo, I don't feel like you're an Aries, but I feel like Sagittarius or Leo. That's my sense of it.
You're good. Yes, I'm a Sagittarius.
Yes.
And I'm a Gemini and then a Libra moon.
Oh, I was wondering if there was air in there.
I'm a mixture of crazy. I don't know how I have that. How do I have
just
a
fan the
Gemini
flame
and Libra? Like
No,
I flame myself. Like I feed my own fire with the crazy air. Like what am I doing?
But that's awesome because we get to benefit from the creativity that is fueled. So yeah,
it fuels it all right. How about what are you? Yeah.
So my sun sign is Capricorn, highly overlooked. And my rising sign is Cancer, which is zodiacally opposite.
Water.
So a lot of people, very water. And then my moon sign is
water.
Yeah, earth and water. Very grounded. And my moon sign is Scorpio. So
You
lots of
are
depth there.
like you got all the 2 waters there, and then you got that earth. Like
Yeah.
what is happening to us?
You know what? But I feel like our energies are like
you got
that way.
the emotional depth, and I have the crazy depth of like multiple personalities.
It's like the whirlwind, though. Like it's a great journey. It's a great journey.
I'm my own tornado. We're tornadoes. You're tornadoes of emotions. I'm a tornado of fire. And
Wait, now, Matt, you're a Sagittarius too, right?
Yep.
Do you know your other 2 signs?
According to this chart, my rising sign is Leo and my moon sign is Aquarius.
oh,
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure y'all do.
interesting.
Fires in an air. 2 fires in an air. No, especially with the rising sign in Leo, there's definitely that sense of like you want to be in front of other people, like you like being around other people. But the Aquarius moon is interesting because Aquarius is almost always like in service of other people, but it actually means that like in a intimate relationship, like the closer the relationship, you're kind of at arm's length. So it looks like you're closer to outside people than the people who are actually closer to you from your moon sign. Yeah. That's wild.
Okay.
What is your husband?
Mine?
Yeah. What's
Because I was like,
I don't have a husband.
no. Okay.
It's funny you asked that because Quentin actually has the same 3. He's 8 years younger than me. So like my Chinese sign is monkey and his is dragon, but he is still Capricorn sun, Cancer rising, Scorpio moon.
Wild.
It is. And a little intense, I won't lie, but it also means that we have just a lot of fun together because we get each other
that's
in a way
great.
that a lot of people don't. Yeah.
I can't get away from Gemini men, and they tend to be the death of me half the time.
Oh no. Okay, so I was told to me once, and I promise we'll go back into filmmaking, but I just had to pull on the thread because I was like, tell me more about this psychic. Someone once told me that if you look for compatibility in your moon signs, you're more likely to find a match. So I don't know if that helps at all, but like the next time you feel attracted to your Gemini dude, like look at his moon sign and see if that's also compatible.
I'm just not compatible with anyone. No, I'm just joking. No, that's funny. No, I always ask like compatibility because like it makes sense. Like me and Taurus, like for whatever reason, it just doesn't work. You know, it's just like there's just that thing, you know. But I just attract a lot of Cancer, a lot of Gemini, a lot of Leo, and a lot of Pisces, which is interesting.
It is interesting. I feel like another mutable sign would be fun for you, but also, I don't know.
No.
That Leo, there's a lot
of
energy to that Leo energy, you know?
That Leo energy usually, I can't get rid of it either. And like, but then I met somebody that was a Cancer Leo, like a Leo cusp, and that was a nice balance. But nah, like
which I feel like a lot of this also came up because of BookTok and Book Boyfriends, where we're like,
let's go,
it was
Book
nice
Boyfriends.
Let's just do Book Boyfriends. It's fine.
They're better. They're fun.
I do want to pull back on the thread of, because I met you because of the beginning of your journey, and I love seeing it go from short distributed through Dust into feature shortly after that. And so I feel like one thing that you have had an ability to shape during your time is, how do I want to show up as a filmmaker and set the tone? Because that's very much what directors do. And like, what are the things that you're doing kind of behind the scenes that help to elevate the film industry? Because I feel like there are other filmmakers and other bosses that can learn from your example.
I would say more so when I step onto any set is that it is up to us to set the tone of the whole movie, like for your whole team. So I always try to go on to set with a perspective that I'm learning as well, that I'm not like lording over you. I tend to make sure that everybody on the team has what they need and that we're doing things like to the best of their abilities. So like, because you're only as strong as your weakest link, you know. So if someone's struggling on your team, your film is struggling. So it's like I always tend to kind of see where things are lacking and how I can help that area so that we can get through the day. So for me, I always kind of like have mom energy where I'm checking on everyone, I'm making sure things are good. I keep the energy high. I'm very calm. I don't yell at anybody. Um, I try to listen more than anything. Um, and see how my actors are feeling, see how my team is feeling. Um, the first day, you know, you kind of just observe everything, and then the days forward, I just kind of like I see where we need help, you know?
Yeah.
Because every department will struggle here and there. So it's just kind of like, well, what can I do to make your life easier in these moments so that we can get through this better?
Yeah.
Because I can't make a movie without my team. You know, like everyone needs to kind of come together, and um we're human. We're not perfect. We're not machines. We're going to have off days, you know, and off moments. And so it's up to you as the leader of the ship to navigate that and to be able to pivot and make those decisions quickly and efficiently and know what you want. And really that's what it is. We problem solve the whole time. So it's
Yeah.
just like I hate like I don't stand at the front and not look back. I stand in the back and I look forward, and I kind of like that's how I kind of navigate my sets.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's brilliant. And I feel like one of the first lessons I ever learned from you was if you have a limited budget and you can only put money towards like a handful of things, clearly feed your crew. Like that one I knew, but
Yes.
like invest in your lenses, invest in your color, invest in your sound mix.
Yep.
So I would love to know, just as you've leveled up into features, even if you still have like a limited budget, like how do you allocate funds so that you're still respecting your budget, but like making your team feel comfortable and supported?
Well, I still believe in everyone getting, you know, when you're on a set, a film or something like features, like pay everybody at least something that's not offensive, you know, because that is our job. Unless everyone's excited and wanting to do this project, then we're all going to battle together, right? But
Yeah.
I would say I still so for Tubi it's a little differently, you know. I don't work with any of their budget. You know, they brought me on as like a work for hire director. Essentially, they brought me the script. I worked on the script with them. I directed it and I edit, but like it's their money. They had the final say and like everything. We use the post house that was decided to use, like the colors they decided to use, like so it's a very different kind of element. Whereas when I do my indie films or anything like that, I still will put money aside knowing that I want to use this colorist and I want to use this sound design team and I want to use these things, and then everything else you kind of like put together. But like you still try to work it, you know, into your budget. You don't want to go broke trying to do something and then your other parts of the departments are struggling, you know?
Yes.
So like I
Yeah.
think color, you know, your lenses, the right gaffer for your lighting, your cinematographer, um obviously your dialogue, your actors, everybody's important. Like I don't want to sit here and say like, you know, even costume, you know, everything comes together in a fluid motion. So it's kind of like I'm OCD about all of it, to be honest, but it's also about like trying to be respectful to people's what they should be paid, you know, and as much as you can. I like being transparent. I don't like being sneaky. And I think that's what helps people want to work with you when it comes to a smaller budget, you know? But,
Yes. Yeah.
you know?
No, I think it's brilliant. And I think one of the reasons that's so valuable, I hope filmmakers who are listening to this, that you take that and run with it, is that you have the ability to make your cast and crew feel like rock stars with those tips, right? Be transparent, recognize that everybody brings value, make sure that everybody is not just paid fairly, but that they, whatever they've agreed to, that they feel like they've been paid fairly. And of course, people are going to show up and do their best work.
Because no one's going to want to get paid $300 for like 2 days work, 3 days work, 4 days work, and only get $300. Like, and you're asking them the world, right? It's like, to me, unless they're your close friends and like people that are like, we're doing this, this is all we have to give. That's one thing, right? I'm not being a rain cloud on anyone's parade here, but like, if you are making something, also be realistic. You know, know that if you don't have a big budget, it's going to take you a span of some time to when everyone's available to shoot certain things, you know, and to be mindful of that, and don't be demanding, and like, no one wants to work with someone that's going to treat you like crap and you're not getting paid well.
Right. Like, girl. Yes. Which is, for the record, one of the great pleasures of being able to say, like, hey, even if it was a half a day, like, I got to be on set with you. Because now I can actually say, not only have I been following your journey as a filmmaker and have the utmost respect for your journey and your process, I've seen your process live. And it's amazing. Like, you're fast, you're efficient, you're super supportive of everybody on set. And I've witnessed that, like, standing back and being specific and saying, yep, that's what I want, and go. Right? Like, it was a masterclass in half a day. It was really fun to watch.
And it was like, so, I have to say, you did such a great job. Like, she did all of the set dressing of like the food and making sure continuity was right. You and Alyssa with like that. And when you're doing a film where everyone's eating and Raul kept going through plates of his food. Like, we're like, Raul, we don't have all of the food. We gotta like take it easy, you know, like for this. Like, he was like feasted on it. We're like, we got Crafty over there, but like, the props we got to be a little gentle on, you know. It was so funny, but you were like on it. Like, you did a great job. And I will say, like, it was that even to me was my own masterclass. I was like, oh, that like pushed me to like so many limits as well, of like, we had a lot to get through, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was even with the pressure, I think it was good energy on set, and thank you for setting that up. Yeah.
You all were wonderful, and I'm grateful for all of you to be there, you know.
And I'm still friends with several people that I met on that set, actually, because that's how I met Carolina Alvarez.
Yeah. She's wonderful.
She's amazing. I feel like, since you mentioned investing in your gaffer and your cinematographer, I just want to switch over to Married to a Balla for a moment, because I was like, I gotta see it, because I've seen other Emily Skye work, and it's always really enjoyable, not just because of like the actual story, but the visual storytelling. And in that opening, right, when we finally see like him become violent, and we're just doing that long tracking shot with the partygoers in the front and them in the background, I was like, girl, look at you. It was
like, we had to get so creative, because in the script, it actually was like him going to a pool house and going into the room, and then the dolly was supposed to go to the door and then like kind of dolly back and reveal the partygoers. And obviously we had none of that in this location, so we had to create it. And then Sam, my DP, and I looked at like the giant windows, you know, like the sliding glass doors that went straight across, and we're like, that would be a great tool to use, that where we could dolly across, and you see them walking through and you hear their conversation as they're walking through, and then you see what's happening, but then the partiers are still in the forefront partying. So it's like, kind of was like it worked really well.
It worked really well. It was, and because it happens at a really important moment, and it happens in the first 10 minutes of the film, like it really grabs your attention. You're like, oh, I'm in it, right? Like, it was so good.
Thank you. Good. The second one too, like it's a different vibe, but every character goes, and we're in more depth with the characters. and their life and the things that they're going through. So everyone's evolving. So, and the ending of it, it was my favorite parts to shoot, was like the last 15 minutes of the movie was like, I mean, shooting that location was really hard, but it's visually beautiful, and I'm like happy with that. But so it was worth all the bugs. When I tell you they were biting your head, we were walking around like trying to cover our faces and stuff, and we had bites everywhere. My DP Diana, she was wearing like this like rain suit, it looked like, because she was just trying to like prevent the no-see-ums and the mosquitoes from getting us. Like, it was, those bugs were no joke. I'm not even gonna lie about that, but it was worth it because visually it was beautiful.
I mean, do we have behind the scenes for these? Because I want to see them. Bloopers, everything.
I do have behind the scenes of like Diana bundled up and all you see is her eyes, and like we're running through the darkness trying to like go to the bathroom, and we're like terrified. And
it's only fun in the afterthought. At the time, it was not fun.
We were like, oh my gosh, it was those 2 days of filming there were really challenging. Like, our generators kept dying.
Oh, God.
And there was no electricity. It was an abandoned warehouse. So like nothing. So like we would have to wait for the Jennies to like power back on. You have to start again. It was like, it was a challenge, but it was fun. It was definitely fun. I would do it again.
I'm so excited for the next one. Yeah, and clearly you have.
Yeah.
Well, I want to wrap up and make sure people know to like check out Married to a Balla too. Anything else you want to leave people with before we head out? Things that they should clearly they should follow you on Instagram. We also have your website. But anything else you feel like our attendees should know before we head out?
Other than go after your dreams and make it happen. Don't wait for anyone to tell you to do something. Just do it. Don't let, even the pandemic can't even stop you. Like, just, there's no excuse. Like, I feel like you have something you want to do, tell it, hold out for yourself. Don't sell yourself short, or listen to the naysayers, because everyone's going to tell you no. It's about believing that you can.
Yeah. Cheers to that. Oh, cheers to that.
Cheers.
All right. Well, for those of you who are here, definitely click that link to follow Emily on Instagram. She is at SheWolfFilms. And don't forget that she is also currently making She-Wolf shells, which I cannot wait to check out. Like I said, we'll do a little merch exchange so you can get your off-duty stuff, and I'll get some of your She-Wolf shells. And of course, don't forget also that if you want to check more about her website, which I think it's amazing that even on your website, you still have stuff from River, the short,
it's
on your
my
website.
like the feature and the short, like, I don't know. It was just visually one of my favorite things that I've done, like and it was our first thing that we did, like our first feature. So of course it's going to always have like that place in my heart, Yeah.
Yeah. It's so, I love it when things kind of converge that way too, right? Where you're like, I'm going to make this thing because I believe in it, and I don't care that the lockdown is happening. We're going to make it happen anyway. And then it also happens to be this thing that, like, when executed, you're so in love with, and you should, like, with good reason.
Like,
images are so
everything,
great.
Like, I see things, and I'm like, I would do things differently now for where I'm at as a film director. But in that moment, like, we made something magical together, and I'm really proud of what we did as a team, and in a time that was really challenging. And I wouldn't do it over anything, because I learned so much from that whole process. And it was my first feature, and we did it, so, and I'm proud of what we did together and how much we poured into it. So, like, as of course, as an artist, you're going to look at anything and nitpick it and be like, I would do this. You know what? I'm kind of detached from that. And I'm like, that's a timestamp of where I was in that moment. And we did that together.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Super cool. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for staying a little later. It was just such a good conversation. I was like, Emily, we need to do all of the
I know I'd ramble too. I love you guys. Thank you.
girl
For listening.
right back at you. I feel you. I do. And hopefully we'll have you back in the new year. I'd love to hear how Married to a Balla 2 does. But until then, next week, guys, join us for we're going to be joined with another guest on Friday at 12:30 p.m. That's PST. So if you're on the East Coast, that's 3:30 EST. And for those of you who have stayed to the very end, I always like to make sure that you have the best possible offers. For me, I'm going to be doing another StoryMath workshop on October 11th. So I will leave that link in the chat for you. It is free, so there isn't necessarily a special offer other than it's free. Come out and join us. And this is particularly helpful because if you are writing a book ahead of National Novel Writing Month, yes, I know the website is down, but you can still crank out those pages in November. So now is the best time to get your outline done. So join me. We'll help you break story so you can make the most of your November writing goals. And I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us today. We'll look forward to having you back next week for another round of tea and biscuits.
See you, everyone. Have a good week.